Mark Patton, I want to welcome him to the show. He's the president of Quest Automated Services, this McKinney-based company. McKinney, by the way, up in North Texas, folks. Leading the way in oil field automation. Their technology reduces cost, increases production, and decreases financial liabilities, all while creating a safer working environment, and that's also good for the environment. Mark Patton, welcome to the Voice of Texas down here in Houston.
Good morning, Chris. Thanks for having me.
All right. First off, you just went to a symposium, a gathering of Texas oilmen, right? What was it called?
It's the Texas Alliance.
The
Oil
Texas,
and Gas.
okay. Okay, the Texas Alliance of Oil and Gas Producers, is that it?
Correct.
Okay, so now inside of what goes on there when you all meet? What do you discuss?
Well, this was their annual meeting, and what we discussed there is new technologies, the state of where the industry is in oil and gas, and how things are going, and it's just an exploration of new technologies and things that are going on in the industry.
In our off-air conversations, you have been the one that has educated me on this terminology. As I said, I learn every day. This idea of lift cost, and I'm like, whoa, question from the back row. What is lift cost? And you explained to me how much an oil producer has to spend to get a barrel of oil out of the ground. Do I have that right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, our OPEC and anti-American competitors, I'm talking OPEC, I'm talking Venezuela and Iran and Russia. Here they are. They have lift costs that vary, but I mean the OPEC nations, I think on average they're around $20 a barrel, right?
It could even be cheaper than that, depending on where they're. Mm-hmm.
Depending on which country you're talking about. So,
correct.
But back here at home in America, what on average is our lift cost to get oil out of the ground?
It depends on what basin they're at, but it can be anywhere from as low as $12 and as high as over $60 to $70 per barrel.
I got you. And the hydraulic fracturing process, even though it's giving us access to more oil and gas, we still that there's a cost associated with that, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that's where you guys come in with your technology. Not only is your technology marrying, I should say, the old technology of old-fashioned pumping in with 21st century technology, but you guys also are able to help these oil producers with their efficiencies, also with their environmental protection, also with keeping real-time monitoring of their production. Explain what it is you guys do.
In a nutshell, what we do is we make them proactive rather than reactive. This industry is 100 years old, and in the past there's been little to no technology from the process of pumping it. They flood the formations now to bring the water up and the oil up, and then they do a oil-water separation. And the oil goes off to the market, and the water goes into recirculation. The difference is it's just not water. They call it salt water or brine. That is a highly toxic chemical. If that chemical was to leach out of its secondary containment, get into any type of farm, cattle, river, pond, lake, it will kill anything it touches. Even on the ground, it has to be soil remediated. Nothing will grow on the ground for 20 years. So what we're able to do is allow the owners and operators to be very proactive, because now they're able to see in real time what's going on these sites. These sites are in remote areas, sometimes hundreds of miles away before somebody could even get to them. So what we're able to do is put eyes literally on the site that the owner and the operator can see if there's a critical issue going on. They could remotely shut down their site. Even if they weren't there, something happened, our technology will actually shut down that site for them, preventing a disaster. And that helps them to be extremely streamlined. It helps them to a typical oil spill can range from between 35,000 and 65,000. That's just a typical. I mean, it can be in the millions if it got into a river or a lake.
Wow. Mark Patton, my guest right now, is the president of Quest Automated Services, a McKinney-based company that helps our oil producers here in the United States to become more efficient, more environmentally friendly, and also cut some costs. I imagine you're getting feedback from your technology from those who are using it. You mentioned that you can get pretty pricey if you do get a leak. So what are they telling you about, after they've utilized your technology, what it's doing for their bottom line in their business?
Well, we have a particular customer that is actually on our YouTube channel. If you Google Quest Automated Services, YouTube, you'll see him. His name is David Monaco. We prevented a spill from him, and it saved him 10 years worth of profit for him. So, that is a huge statement, and, it helps him whether they stay in business or not in business.
Yeah, and you know what? And then if the companies who are producing the oil save money, that's going to find its way, into the consumer, because these companies don't have to charge as much for their services, and it all trickles down the line, if you will. Let me ask you about. I'm pretty certain that Quest Automated Services is not going to be the end all be all, but you guys are a pretty critical cog in helping American oil producers be more efficient, be more cost effective, and compete with those who, let's just be frank, those who donate to Hillary Clinton's foundation and really have basically slave wages in their country that are able to keep their lift costs down because they don't have the overhead that we have here in America. You guys are able to get, through your technology, put our oil producers at least one step closer to being more competitive, yes?
That is correct. We let them be extremely modernized. We let them be, their profits are able to dial in because they're not being reactive. They're not shutting sites down because of a disaster. They're able to keep those sites up running at optimal performance.
All right, buddy. Mark Patton, president of Quest Automated Services. Where can folks check out what you guys do, especially folks who either work or know people who work in the energy producing industry? Where can they go?
They can go to questautomatedservices.com and learn everything about it. They even have an animated video on there that explains the technology.
Love it. Mark Patton, using the 21st century technology to modernize energy production here in the United States. Sir, I appreciate your time and expertise here on The Voice of Texas.